up guys? What's up cycling fanatics? Another race video. Today I'm riding the Zuid Hollandse Eilanden Tour, which is the South Holland Islands Tour. It's a club competition, so the best club teams of the Netherlands are gonna battle it out, all for the ranking. And currently my club, the Volharding, is at the first place. So we're gonna defend the first place in the competition on this race today. It will be 160 kilometers with 2 loops, one big loop and one final loop of 25k. The temperature today is awesome, around 20 degrees. The wind is not super strong, so it's probably not gonna be a super hard race where everything falls into pieces from the first 10 minutes, but it's always a chance. So it's very important to stay sharp. Apparently it's going to be a finish which is good for sprinters, so I hope we can set up a train and improve our train from last time. Anyway, I'm riding another Peugeot. This is the 308. I got this car from the Nefkens Peugeot garage in my old hometown, so they're helping me out to get me to the races where I need to go. Another thing is packing my bags. You would think that because I do an intercontinental flight pretty much every week, I would be pretty pro in packing my bags. I'm not. Every time I need to pack my bags, I have to think about it, and it just takes me quite some time, and actually it takes me quite some effort, because I should have a checklist like we do at my work, but I don't. But right now I'm using this bag from BLS, Black Line Sprinting bag. Everything in this bag has a set place, which makes it very convenient to take your stuff, and you'll make sure that you don't forget anything. I always do this stuff at the last minute, but yesterday I packed my bag. Just let me show you how I did it, and you can see that it's actually very easy, and you won't forget anything. Okay, it's race day tomorrow. I'm gonna pack my bag today, so I make sure I don't forget anything, and I'm using this BLS Velo Racing bag. It's a gear bag. They sent it to me to try it out, and I'm going to show you how everything fits in the bag and how easy it is to use. Alright, so this is all my stuff I need for the race tomorrow. And the cool thing about this bag is it has compartments, and every piece of your gear goes in a set compartment. This way you can't forget anything, and you always know where to find your stuff. What I do, I always go from the bottom to the top when I think about what I need to take with me during my rides. I imagine myself on the bike. What do I have? I've got my socks, I've got my shoes. Where do they go? The socks go in the shoes, and the shoes go in the shoe compartment of the bag. Then my cycling kit. Tomorrow it's nice weather, so I'm taking a very thin base layer. Not sure if I'm gonna use it. I'm taking arm warmers. I want to have something to choose from, and then I grab my normal cycling kit, including a wind vest with the bib shorts, and also I'm taking my speed suit. Not sure which one I'm gonna use. Everything comes with an extra bag, so if you race a wet race, you can put it in the bag and don't mess up all your other gear. This goes in the top. So I also take a wind jacket just to be sure, for a warm-up or a cool-down. Going up, it's my head. I've got my glasses, I've got my helmet. Glasses go in the helmet, and then the gloves in the helmet as well. The bag has a compartment in the bottom for the helmet, so everything slides in right here. Next thing is the bike and your food. 2 bottles to start with. There's a compartment on the side where you can put your bottles in. The powder that I use during racing and some recovery, they can go right in here as well. I'm left with some other stuff. Right here next to the helmet is a hard pouch. It actually protects your helmet from crushing. Very nice. And everything I got left will go in here. Got some basic tools if I need to adjust something on the bike. I've got my energy gels, pins, an extra spare tire, some other food bars. We've got bib cream. This will fit in here as well. A few items are left. Cycling computer will go on the bike, as well as this camera. And then I've got my vlogging camera to record everything. Goes in the top, and my heart rate monitor will go in my shoe, so I don't forget it. This bag is an extra bag for your shoes. Just like clothing, if you have a dirty race, everything stays nice and tidy. Everything has its own place, you can't forget anything. I've been told it fits in the overhead compartment of an airplane, so you can take it while you travel, and it's super easy. Now let's go race. Number 34 today. It doesn't make a difference which number I am, but it's always fun to know. The spark wheels go in the team car for backup. I used them last race, so let's not use them this race. Pinnetjes om uit te kiezen, hé.
Ja, ik heb dat vroeger gezien, maar dat is serieus in elkaar eraan, hoor.
Of wel beginnen met de fiets te hebben, zodat ze zelf vallen. Zodat die...
Ook een brede weg. En dan deze dijk. Is ook weer een kutstuk.
Dus hou in ieder geval in, jongens, daar bij het eerste gedeelte van het peloton maar zitten.
Ja.
Oh. 30 minutes to the start. We're all ready. Just close the windows and go. Alright guys, here we go to the race footage. Approaching start of the race right now. You can see all the team cars lined up, ready to roll out, and me and a couple teammates, we just started in the back. There was no need to be in front of the neutralization in this race because the wind forecast was super low and there was a wide enough road in the beginning, so we didn't want to risk and be in front of this neutralization because it's always so sketchy in these races. You can see all the data on the screen again. On the right top you can see the track layout, and then I've got the speed, my heart rate and the distance. And just at the start of the race my power meter stopped working, I don't know why. So unfortunately there's no power meter data in this race, but normally I've got them on. So if you want to see the full race footage of this race, we've got almost 2 hours of uncut footage. Go check out the link in the description to this race. Here you can see very narrow roads, and if the wind was strong today, then this was probably the first really important moment where the whole peloton would have been split up into pieces straight from the bat, but right now we just follow and it's not a big deal. Pretty narrow roads, people were getting very close to each other, and right here the first crash happens, very unfortunate. Guys are tumbling over each other, and I look back and there's like a big pile of guys, and because the road was so narrow nobody could pass, all the team cars were behind it, so at the end it took a little bit, but everybody got back into the peloton. By the way, if you want to see more of these race footage, more of these race videos, just check out my whole playlist and make sure you subscribe to my channel, because all my races are gonna be like this on my YouTube channel. So I'm gonna be showing you guys what I'm doing the whole year, and if you like it, just hit that like button and help me out a little bit. Here we are, almost 70 kilometers into the race, 1 hour 30 minutes. I've been pretty much chilling out in the peloton until now, but here we make it up to the front with the team. We wanted to put some pressure on this race because it was so easy until this part, because there was no wind, and this was a part where there might be a piece of road where we could stretch it out, and we put up the pace a little bit and try to stretch out the field, maybe break it. It took a little while. We spent like, I don't know, 30 minutes in the front of the pack pushing a little bit, but at the end it didn't really break. Nothing really happened. The wind was not strong enough to really make it a hard race. Anyway, we're in the front and we're safe. That's another reason to go to the front, is just to have less risk of crashing, people riding into each other. You have more visibility to the front. In this race today there were so many mid-berms all the way, not right here but in other places, and when you're in the peloton you won't see them. So mid-berms and bumps and little poles on the middle of the road furniture, it's pretty tricky. And in this race there were a lot. So when we started pushing out some more pace and pushing some pressure, it seemed like a sort of a chain reaction, and other teams were coming to the front and trying to be out there as well. So the whole pace of the race went up a little bit, and people are starting to attack. No big deal, because no attack really lasts in this part of the race. 90 kilometers, 2 hours into the race. Average speed is about 45k an hour, and we're back in the front with the team. We were riding for position. Some parts of these roads were narrow with some wind. However, the wind wasn't that strong. You never know how it plays out, and if it breaks, you want to be in front of the brake and not behind the brake, because it will take so much energy to get back into the race. So here we're just pushing out a little bit with the team in the front, which is nice, which is safe, but the whole peloton pretty much stayed together. Again, these little narrow parts left and right, and then this gentleman, he's on the middle of the road. He has no idea what's happening to him. We are flying by in this race, and he's just enjoying his little bike ride. Everybody's screaming at him. Okay, trying to get some water from our helpers on the side. I tried to get the bottle, but my teammate got it, so that's fine. People were asking me, how do we get our water? Well, we can go back to the car to get some bottles, or like you just saw, we grab it from our people from the team that are next to the road, giving us the bottles. Right here, again in the front, there's a guy on a motorbike taking some footage for the video of the organization, and more big guys from other teams are coming up to the front, rotating with us, getting up the pace, which is good. 3 hours into the race, 130 kilometers into the race, we have about 30 kilometers left. This guy is going for an attack, he's going solo, everybody lets him ride, so no big deal. We probably catch him back later. Coming through start-finish right here, there was a 25 kilometer loop that we did twice. So from now on, we'll have a loop of 25k, and then that's the finish. So it's only about 40 minutes left into this race, and this is when the real race started. Pace was going up, and I was trying to stay in front as much as I could. Right here we're pushing with a couple guys, and I want to stay with this group. I thought maybe it would split, and then if it would, I would have been in a break. Well, it didn't split, but I stayed in front, I kept my position, and I didn't fall back too far. Something that I really don't want to happen in this part of the race, because there were coming up some narrow roads again, and when you're too far back, it's just too hard to get back to the front. So when you have a good position approaching the end of the race, you really need to stay there and try to drive up forward the whole time. Right here on the left, we've got the guy in the light blue jersey. He's the leader in the individual ranking, Jasper. He's a pretty fast sprinter as well. He's up there in the front, so you know, another sign that I'm on a good position right now. As you can see, it's narrow, and people are trying to move up to the front the whole time, and this gets up the speed as well. About 15 kilometers left. Another sketchy moment, mid-berms. There were so many mid-berms in this race, and it's really hard to see them when you're behind other riders coming through these corners. There's a mid-berm right there, and it happened so many times in this race where there were mid-berms, little poles, speed bumps, and riding in a peloton, it just makes it pretty dangerous. Here we come through a little town. Mitch is in front of me, he's pushing a nice pace, and there's a little group just like 10 meters up ahead, but it's no deal. We just keep up the pace and stay in front, so we keep our position. If anything happens, we can react. Only 10 kilometers to go in this race. Another guy attacks. I think there was, at any time in this race, there were only 2 riders out there, which they took like 30 seconds. We got them back before the finish, so it was gonna be a field sprint. Right here, I'm just using a little bit of extra road on the side to make it up to the front a little bit. Not too far to go. We have like 7 kilometers to go, and from this point, everybody is getting more nervous. Everybody's going faster. Everybody wants to stay out there in the front. Another set of mid-berms, very low curbs right here, and it's very easy to hit those when you're going through these turns and you don't see it. 2 kilometers to go, really fast in this race, going over 50 kilometers an hour, and this is really when the lead out is starting. I was by myself, I had to secure my own position. So right here I had to put my nose into the wind and be able to move to the front. If I would have gone to the right and slipstream, I definitely would have lost my position and would have get swarmed by other riders, and then you probably lose like 20 places in a couple seconds. The 1 kilometer to go flag is coming up, hanging right there over the road, and here I get passed by Jasper, and this is when it really goes on. We have about 1500 meters to go, and from this point it's just go whenever you can. The guys from Villa here, we've got one guy, he was racing World Tour last year, and now he stepped back to amateur level, and this is where they really start pulling and start their lead out. I just try to stay with them. Coming up through this corner, I didn't really know what kind of corner it was, so I slam on the brakes because I see this mid-berm again, losing all my momentum, really shit, so I have to re-accelerate, and I try to get as close as good as these guys. I had to choose left or right. I go to the left, and then as I'm trying to push, I feel this cramps coming up in my hamstring, so I couldn't push hard enough to get in front of this guy. He cuts the corner, blocks me on the outside. I lose momentum again. I need to accelerate again, and I just couldn't keep up, and I just missed the podium. Kaboom! Just finished. It wasn't really a hard race because there was no wind. We're riding in the peloton pretty much the whole time. The speed wasn't that high, no successful attacks, so we didn't need to chase a lot. There were a couple moments where we came together. We put up a nice pace, trying to stretch the field, trying to break the field. It didn't happen, so it came to a field sprint. I just did my best to stay in front as much as I could, which went pretty well actually. But I think like the last maybe 5 kilometers, I had to do quite a lot of work to stay in the front, and I think like 2 corners before the finish I started cramping again. Last corner, I was on the outside of one Sensa rider, and I figured if I come behind him, I could pass him on the finishing street, but he totally blocked me on the outside, so I sort of lost my momentum. I think I finished 5th. Right now I'm doing a cool down, just because I had some cramps in the last part of the race, so I really need to get the circulation back and try to get rid of this shitty feeling in the legs. I'm using my new booster, the Tux booster. Last year I was taking the Neo every time, but the Neo weighs like 20 kilos and it's really hard to drop it in the car, take it out. I mean, if you're Team Sky, you have a massive trailer and people to carry your stuff, it's okay, but this thing is so much easier to take to a race. So right now I'm on this machine, which is perfectly fine for a warm-up and a cool down, so very nice and easy. For the club competition, 3 riders of the team put in points for the ranking, so the first 3. I'm not sure how we finished because I was the first that passed the finish, and the second one was pretty close, but the 3rd rider was a little bit further back, so we might have lost some time and points on the ranking. I feel pretty good. Last race I got 7th, now I got 5th, so I see progression. I haven't done a lot this week, mainly resting, working in the house. I felt I could recover quickly during the race, so it was a good thing. Right now my legs start to feel okay, so I'm done with the cool down. I'm gonna get a shower. Ja, jullie vanmorgen, hè? Okay, I checked the final results. 5th place and 30th place. So I got 5th and another teammate got 30th place. We'll be waiting for the final results of the ranking, but my prize is in. Tomorrow I'm flying to Hong Kong for a 24-hour layover, so I'm gonna be back on Tuesday. And then I have another race, a top competition race next Sunday. So stay tuned guys, make sure you subscribe, hit the like button for this video, and I'm gonna see you next time. See ya! What's up cycling fanatics? not going to be a super hard race.
400 meter bij de splitsing, houd rechts aan.
The wind is not super strong, so it's probably not going to be
Houd
super.
rechts aan.